Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I've been meaning to do this type of a video for a series that I've had in mind for a while, and that series is to go through by brand and share with you guys my top products from the brand. So all of the things that I feel like are the best of whatever brand it is that I'm talking about. Today we're going to be talking about NYX, which I think is a really fun place to start, and I'm going to be doing a look using all of my favorite products. Now this does not mean necessarily that I will have a full face of all these products, because if there's not something that I'm obsessed with in a category from the brand, I'm just not going to talk about it and I'll use something else. I have a ton of really amazing products from NYX, so I'm super excited to share them with you. A lot of these things I'm sure you guys have seen before on my channel, but the hope is to build up this playlist to where you guys can refer to it when you're shopping, or if you have a personal favorite brand that you tend to gravitate toward, hopefully this will help you see what else you might want to try or the things that I personally would give a double thumbs up on. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start with Complexion first. My very favorite primer from NYX has been this one for a very long time. This is the NYX Angel Veil Primer. You guys, please excuse my fingernails. Listen, I need to redo them, and yesterday, instead of removing the nail polish underneath, I painted on top of them. Actually, that was like 2 days ago, and they're starting to chip again. Anyway, just ignore those. Back to the primer. I love this primer and I've been using it for a really long time. The thing I enjoy most about this is the texture. It has a little bit of like a moussey texture to it. Here's what it looks like right here. I'm just going to take a small amount and I'm going to just use my fingers to apply this, focusing in the T-zone of the face. I love how smooth this makes my complexion look, and I have tried this with so many different foundations over the years, and I truly feel like no matter what foundation I wear this with, it always looks good underneath, which is something that kind of proves how reliable a product is, in my opinion. I also like how this isn't too oily or too matte. It's just right in the middle, which I feel like works really well for my skin type, which is combination to normal skin, I would say. I do tend to get a little oily in the T-zone, but also I have dry areas on the sides of my face, and that changes and fluctuates throughout the year, and I just feel like this primer has been consistent throughout the year no matter what my skin is going through. So the NYX Angel Veil Primer is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best products that NYX makes. So moving on to Complexion, I have two products which are actually more recent to my collection. These two Complexion products are absolutely incredible from NYX. The first one that came to my mind was this one right here. This is the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil. So this is definitely a product that I would recommend for everyday use. I love, love, love how this applies to my skin, how it wears on my skin. I definitely would say that it's not something that I would choose for like a glam or a night out kind of a look, but it has enough coverage to where it evens out my skin tone and it just looks fresh on the skin. I really, really enjoy this formula. And the second Complexion product is the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. This is definitely more of a glowy foundation, as you can tell by the name, especially compared to the Bear With Me. I would also say that this has slightly more coverage than the Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil, but both are incredible products. I feel like both have a very similar wear to them as well, with the difference being I do feel like at the end of the day this one is slightly more dewy. So if you have oily skin, I'm not sure if I would recommend this one as much, but if you have dry to normal, I feel like you would enjoy this, and if you have normal to maybe a little bit oily or combination skin, I feel like you would enjoy this as well. But again, both are very lightweight. I really love the coverage. Both look really natural on the skin, so I would definitely recommend both of those. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil, because if I were in a situation where I had to only choose one, I would choose this one, because I feel like you can kind of manipulate it with the primers that you wear underneath or with the products that you have on top to make it a little bit more glowy, where this one is a little more glowy off the bat. So the shade that I use is Vanilla Nude. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take this on a foundation brush. The one I'm going to use today is the Luxie 532 Round Top Blender, and I'm just going to start to buff this onto the skin. And just in case you haven't seen me use this in a video, or if it's been a while since you've seen me use this in a video, I'm going to put it on half of my face so you can get a good idea of what I'm talking about as far as the coverage and the finish goes. Okay, once I feel like I have coverage pretty evenly distributed, I'm going to take my beauty sponge. This one is from Nikia Joy, and I'm going to go ahead and press this into the skin. I'm just building up a little more coverage over the cheek area, which is where I tend to get redness. So here's the difference. Here's the side with the tinted skin veil, and here is my skin without it. In my opinion, this gives the most perfect coverage because it still looks like my skin, but it has enough coverage to where it covers the majority of my redness or my blemishes. I don't mind going in with a concealer over blemishes that are still showing through, but I wanted to make sure to show you guys how nice that looks. And I love the finish that it gives. It's a very natural skin-like finish. So let's go ahead and apply this to the other half of the face. And I also do feel like the coverage is buildable on this as well, which is nice because for me, I have very finicky skin. And so some days I feel like I can get away with less. And then some days I'm in the middle of a breakout and I need to add a bit more coverage. So it's a really nice product no matter what my skin is looking like. Okay, I'm just gonna blend this out with my sponge. I feel like NYX makes really great products overall. Honestly, I haven't tried every single thing that they've made. In fact, I would love to know what your favorite things are from NYX. So feel free to comment that down below. I'm sure everybody else would love to know what you enjoy as well. So leave a comment. But with that being said, for this video, I really wanted to make sure that I'm only sharing the things that I'm super obsessed with. So there's still a lot of products from NYX that I enjoy, but these are like the best of the best, you know? Just in case you've heard me talk about something from NYX that I've enjoyed, that maybe you went out to purchase and it's not in this video, that does not mean that I don't still enjoy it. I just really wanted to pay attention to what sticks in my routine, what I would purchase over and over and over again, and these are the products that I thought of. All right, let's go ahead and conceal the under eyes. There's a new concealer from NYX that I have been meaning to try, but I haven't yet. And for me personally, I haven't really found a concealer that I'm head over heels about from NYX. As of now, I'm always willing to try new things. So I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer. I need to grab a new one of these. I actually have a backup somewhere in my beauty room. This is definitely one of my favorites. It is rare that I go through a concealer like this, so I wanted to kind of use up the last little bit before I grab the new bottle. I'm just going to actually put this on blemishes and under the eyes. I normally get 2 shades of concealer for that, but just trying to use this up. And I'm just going to blend that out with my same sponge. Oh, also I forgot to mention, but I'm sure you could tell, I did my brows off camera. I used the Thrive Causemetics Infinity Waterproof Brow Pencil in the shade Audrey. I'm just going to take what's left on the sponge, and I'm just going to press that on the eyelids to conceal a little bit and to prep for eyeshadow. Okay, I've gone through so many of this next product. The NYX HD Finishing Powder in the shade Banana is an absolutely incredible drugstore powder. It's so wonderful for brightening up the under eye area. And how I usually apply it, which I don't always do this with certain formulas, but for some reason this works so well with this NYX HD Banana powder, I will take my sponge and I will dip directly into the powder. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm just gonna take a bit of that. And my sponge is a little bit damp. It's not like sopping wet, but it is still wet from earlier. I'm just gonna flip the sponge over and pounce out any extra product underneath the eyes, and then I'm just gonna take the powder side and I'm gonna press that underneath the eye area, and you'll see, or hopefully you can see, how beautifully it brightens, sets, and smooths the under eye area. And if you use the right amount, it never feels heavy or cakey on the skin. I'm actually gonna use it to set the entire T-zone. Even though it is a banana powder and it's gonna brighten, I do want a little bit of that brightening effect in the entire T-zone. So we're gonna do the same thing on this eye. And I'm being very, very gentle while pressing it over top of all the liquids, because if you press too hard while doing this with the powder, it can kind of stick to the product underneath and take it up from the face, which is not what we want. We want to set. We don't want to lift off any of the powder. So I'm just being really gentle while applying. If you use this method and you feel like it's a little bit too heavy for underneath the eye area, you can always take a fluffy brush and just kind of gently press it underneath the eyes, but I would recommend trying it like this first and just see if it works for you, because it's worked so well for me. All right, we're gonna go into a bronzer. I'm gonna be using the Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in Golden Light. I actually have tried a couple of bronzers from NYX, and the one that I picked up most recently, I actually got too deep of a shade, so I've been meaning to repurchase that and give it a shot. And once I do, I will keep you guys updated on how I feel about that, but until then, I don't have a NYX bronzer that I'm obsessed with, so I'm just gonna use this one. And this is a new brush that I recently purchased from Cosmetics. It's the bronzer brush, and I've never used it before. It's actually really cool. It kind of has like interesting ridges at the top. Do you see that? I've never seen a brush like this, but it's working really nicely. So I'm just kind of stamping it onto the face first. And then once I have the product where I want it, I'm kind of buffing the excess down a little bit more to blend it into my skin tone. I'm just taking my sponge and just lightly pressing around the edges of the bronzer just to make sure everything is meshing together. Okay, so for blush, NYX makes these ombre blushes that I really, really enjoy. Here's what they look like on the front. I have 2 shades that I really love. I've actually only purchased 2 shades, but the formula is really nice on these. So the first shade that I really love is Strictly Chic. It's a peachy tone. And then the other one is called Mauve Me, which is a really nice mauve-y color. I think for this look, I'm going to go ahead and use the shade Strictly Chic. I'm like craving spring, so I really want a little bit more of a bright tone to my cheeks. So I'm just going to take this on a blush brush and I'm just applying it to the apples of the cheeks, blending it back and over top of the bronzer. These are extremely pigmented and they also have a little bit of a glow to them, but not in like an intimidating type of way. I think it's a very nice subtle glow. I always go a little overboard with my blushes, so I'm just going to take my sponge again and press over that to tone things down, and it also helps to blend the edges. If there are other shades in this NYX Ombre blush that you guys love, let me know. And also, if there's another blush from NYX that you think I should try out, let me know as well. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the face, and I'm going to be using the Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder in the shade Amnesia. I'm almost positive that NYX makes highlighters, but honestly I haven't tried too many, and if I have, I don't think I enjoyed them enough to keep them in my makeup routine. So that's actually another category that I would love to hear. If you guys have like a ride or die highlighter from NYX, please comment that down below. I feel like for me, NYX is one of my go-to brands for complexion and lip products. I feel like their primers and their foundations, lip liners, lip glosses, lip creams, they're all so good. But anything in between, I don't feel like I really have tried too much of. Either that or it's not memorable enough for me. I'm gonna go ahead and do an eyeshadow look. I've only actually tried one eyeshadow palette from NYX. It was the Swear By It palette. It was a really nice palette, but it's not something that's stuck in my routine enough for me to put it in this video. I'm gonna go ahead and use this ColourPop, what's this called again? Sweet Talk palette, and I'm gonna take that peachy shade called Catch Me. I'm gonna tap out the excess concealer that creased in my eyelid, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add this into the crease and a little bit above as our transition shade. I'm also taking that same shade on the same brush, and I'm just gonna pinch it and apply it underneath my lower lash line. Next, I'm gonna take that same brush and dip into this shade right here. This is called Work It, and I'm just gonna pop that on the outer corner and then bring it into the crease a little bit as well. Same thing with the same brush. I'm just pinching the brush and putting that same color on the outer third of the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to take this color right here. This is a Super Shock Shadow formula, and it's called Side to Side. And I'm just going to apply that all over the lid using my finger. All right, next I'm going to take a smaller brush and dip back into my Nabla highlighter just for an inner corner highlight. I'm just going to apply a little bit of that on the brow bone as well. And I'm going to take the teensiest bit and just kind of highlight the inner third of the lower lash line, blending it into those existing colors. All right, if you guys watch my videos, you'll know that I'm not really a huge eyeliner person at all, let alone a liquid eyeliner person. But when I came across this eyeliner, thanks to a recommendation from several of you guys, I had to include it in this video because even though it's not my preferred product in general, not just from this brand, it's such a great liquid liner that I had to share it. So it's the NYX Epic Ink Liner. It's so good, you guys. I'm going to wear it for the purpose of this video. And I know so many people out there really do love liquid liners, and so if you do, I would highly recommend checking this out, even though it's something that I personally don't wear all the time. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to the top lash line. Well, folks, that definitely escalated quickly. I feel like my winged liner started to get larger and larger and larger, but here we are. I don't think it's that shabby though, for how thick the wing is. But anyway, hopefully you guys get the idea. I'm sure you do with how big this wing liner got. Okay, we are going to move on to mascara. I'm obsessed with this next product. It's mascara, obviously, and it's also from NYX. This is the NYX On The Rise Volume Lift Mascara. The thing I love about this mascara is how it builds up. You definitely do have to take the time to build up this product, but when you do, the results are insane. I'm gonna go ahead and apply probably like 3 coats to the top and bottom lashes. I'll do one eye so you can see the difference between both of my eyes. So every time I use this mascara, it definitely takes me a minute to really build up to where I want it. But with that being said, I'm somebody who loves massive lashes. So here's what it looks like compared to the other eye. Hopefully you can see the lashes pretty well, even though I do have a pretty thick eyeliner on. I love this mascara so much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to the other eye as well. Also, if you do try out this mascara, be careful of the applicator. It's a really amazing applicator for holding curl and for separating the lashes as you apply it mascara, but it's not very pliable, so it's a little bit easy to scratch your eye if you're not super careful. This mascara does not smudge or flake on me either, which is always what I personally look for when it comes to any mascara. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. I have 3 lip liners that I wanna share with you, and I'm gonna show you these lip products one by one all over the lips so that you can really get a feel for what they look like on their own, and then I'll choose a lip combo for the end to complete the look. Okay, the first one you guys have heard me talk about, especially recently, and this is another product that I discovered because of you guys. This is the NYX Slide On Glide On Lip Liner in the shade Nude Suede Shoes. Here's what it looks like. I will swatch it on my hand so that you can see the other lip liners next to it. Here's what the shade looks like swatched. It is the most incredible lip liner. I love it so much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and line and fill in the lips with this so you guys can see the color on its own. Okay, so there's the first color all over the lips. Again, this is called Nude Suede Shoes, and it's just the best pinky nude lip liner, and I feel like it goes so well with so many different lip colors. So I wanted to make sure to mention this in the video. Obviously, it's been one of my favorite lip liners in general, like drugstore and high-end included. It is one of my favorites right now. All right, we're gonna move on to the next lip liner. The next lip liners are from the same formula from NYX. They're both the Suede Matte Lip Liner formula, and I am obsessed with the shades London and Sandstorm. So let me swatch London for you really quickly right next to Nude Suede Shoes. So here's London. It's definitely more of a beigey color. And let me apply this one all over the lips as well so you can get a good idea of what it looks like. So this one almost has like a peachy, beigey undertone. And it's definitely more of a caramel nude, but there is a bit of peach in there. So there's NYX London lip liner all over the lips. And then let's swatch the NYX Sandstorm right next to the two. Honestly, all 3 of these are essentials. I love all 3 equally. And there's Sandstorm right there. So that one's a little bit more of like a grayish mauve. Still very beautiful on the lips. Let me go ahead and show you that one. This one on me honestly looks like my lips but better. It has a very similar tone to my natural lips, and I love how this one looks. So again, this one is Sandstorm. Now let's move into the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. I've tried a few of them, and the 2 that I feel like are just iconic in general, and also the 2 that I've worn the most, is this one right here, which is the shade London, and then this one right here, which is Stockholm. Again, I will show you these separately, and I'll swatch them as well. So first I'm going to swatch London, which is the same shade as the lip liner. So you can wear them together if you'd like to. I don't wear them together often actually, even though I do use them separately a lot. But if you love the London shade, it's kind of fun to know that they do go together if you want. My lip lines are getting really ruined. So here's the Soft Matte Lip Cream in London swatched, and here it is all over the lips. I love the formula of this. It's so insanely comfortable. Okay, excuse the lip lines, but hopefully you guys get the idea. There's the Soft Matte Lip Cream in London all over the lips. It's such a good shade. I love this one very, very much. The next one is called Stockholm, and this one is a little bit more pink. There it is right here, swatched next to everything, so you can see it's a little bit more of a rosy tone, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. All right, so here's Stockholm all over the lips. I actually love it with this look. I think it matches the blush nicely. So I might end up wearing this one after showing you guys the other 2 lip products that I love from NYX, but this is the shade Stockholm. I love it. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. All right, next up, I want to talk about the NYX Butter Glosses. I'm sure so many of you guys are familiar with these. They're some of the best glosses at the drugstore. The 2 shades that I love the most are Creme Brulee, so let me swatch those. I'm going to swatch them on the other side of the lip liner so that we can kind of see the color a little better. So here's Creme Brulee swatched. It's a beautiful soft pink. It has a little bit of a cool tone to it, which I love. I think it's very flattering, so let me go ahead and apply this all over the lips. I love these because they don't feel sticky on the lips. They feel more conditioning, if anything. They also pair really beautifully on top of any lip color that I've ever tried them with. Okay, so there's the Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. It's a really beautiful, soft, cool tone pink, and this also looks really nice with this makeup look. This is a great everyday lip product. I love the butter glosses for everyday. The next shade that I love is Tiramisu, which is a bit deeper and a bit more rosy. There's Tiramisu right there, so you can see the difference between both glosses. That one's almost similar to Stockholm in shade, but those are all my favorite lip products swatched on my hand. I'm gonna make sure to remove them before I get them on my shirt. And then here is Tiramisu swatched on the lips. This one's so pretty on its own because it does have a bit more of that deep color to where I feel like it almost looks like you're wearing a lipstick and a gloss, even though it's just one product. So there you go. There's the NYX Butter Gloss in Tiramisu all over the lips. I obviously really love that lip color as well. Like I said before, I was really into Stockholm for this look. Maybe I'll pair it with one of the lip liners. Let's do Sandstorm, just to give my lips a good starting shape. Sometimes I like to use slightly deep, I mean this isn't really deep, but it's just a little bit deeper than my other nude lip liners. And sometimes I think it looks so good with a brighter color in the center. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, I'm going to take the shade Stockholm in the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream formula. And I'm going to layer this right on top. And you'll see how it kind of blends into that nude lip liner, which I feel like helps it just blend into the overall look altogether. Once that's been applied all over the lips, I'm going to take the NYX Creme Brulee Butter Gloss. And I'm just going to kind of highlight the center of the lips with this. Okay, let's step back and assess the situation. I do have actually 2 brow gels from NYX that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm just gonna make sure that my brows look the way I want them to. All right, so there are 2 different brow gels that I wanna share with you, both of which are from NYX, obviously. And they're both different. I like to use them for different reasons, which is kind of funny because you would think all brow gels are the same, but they're not. The first one that I love is the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. This is a clear brow gel, and it has a bit more of a thin formula, so you're gonna get a really soft looking brow with this. The other brow gel that I love is the NYX Bear With Me Brow Setter. Now this has a little bit more of that soap brow effect. The formula is definitely much more thick on this. Similar to the Glossier Boy Brow, the formula is still a little bit different for me and I apply them differently. So with the NYX Bear With Me one, I always make sure to pat in the extra product to get rid of any white cast that came from the color of the formula, where the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel, I just run through the brows and call it a day. So I love them both. I would recommend them both. I'm going to use the Bear With Me Brow Gel just so I can show you guys how I use it. So I obviously like to just run it through the brows initially. This gives a really nice feathery brow effect. So you can see that the product is through the brows. I could take my finger and just gently press down, and that will kind of hold that feathery brow look all day long, and it will get rid of any excess product. So I'm just gonna do the same thing to this brow. Okay, I'm gonna use my Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist just to add a bit more glow to the skin. I've actually tried a few setting sprays from NYX, but again, I haven't tried them for long enough, or they haven't been in my routine for long enough to make it into this video. So I'm just gonna use a tried and true favorite. I'm just gonna spray this on the sides of the face mostly. It smells so good. I'm just gonna really lightly press everything into the skin. And I actually want a bit more blush. I'm just gonna take what's left on the blush brush and I'm gonna add it a little bit closer up to the eye right here. Yeah, I feel like that's nice. Okay, well, there we go. All right, you guys, there you have it. This is the final look using what I feel like is the best of NYX out of what I've tried so far. All of these products that I mentioned today, I 100% recommend. They have been in my routine for a really long time and I've been using them consistently enough to where I really can back up all of these products and say that I feel like they're the best products that NYX currently makes. So, like I said earlier, I would love to hear what your favorite NYX product is in the comments down below. Let me know if we have any similar products. I would love to know that. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you found it helpful. Also, don't forget to comment down below if you guys would like to see this type of video for another brand. I want to know if there's other brands out there that you would want to know what I feel like is the best from that brand. So leave a comment down below letting me know that as well. I'm always asking you guys to comment a lot, but it really is helpful. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!